Chapter 9. Washington, D.C. Ed, what we have here is a clear and present danger. He was looking straight at the Lincoln Memorial, but his thoughts were about 3 dead senators. Retired Secretary of the Department of Defense Charles Perthweiler was riding his mobility scooter alongside the reflection pool with a bodyguard by his side. His own massive shadow was mirrored on the pool's water, with the Washington Monument to his back. It was a brisk, cool morning in the nation's capital, and the SecDef's long black wool coat gave somewhat the appearance of a circus bear riding a little bicycle. Tourists mingled looking at their walking tour maps, deciding which monument to visit first, but it was early and not many had yet gathered to explore the beauty of the many historic attractions they had traveled so far to see. Defense Intelligence Agency Director, Lieutenant General Edward Raymore, and a second man approached the SecDef. Perthweiler could see an expression of apprehension on Raymore's face as he waved his bodyguard away. Without any pleasantries, Perthweiler spoke first and asked, "Give me an update." "Guess who is involved?" replied Raymore. Irked by the question, Perthweiler barked back, "Don't play fucking games with me, Ed. What's happening?" Raymore looked at the man with him first, then looked around to make sure they were not within hearing distance of anyone walking by. "John Powers is the godfather of the child who has revealed some of the secrets of Operation Raven." Perthweiler brought his scooter to a full stop. "What?" he said incredulously and a bit too loud. "Powers was Raven 1, was he not?" "Yes, sir, he was. He carried out the last hit on Senator Clarence Brown in Miami Beach. And to add more irony to this mystery, the child claims to have been Brown in his immediate past life. At least that's what he revealed during hypnosis." Perthweiler sat there stunned, his mouth wide open, gasping for air. Before being able to respond, he reached for his asthma inhaler and gave himself a shot. Clearing his throat, he said slowly, "You are telling me that Raven 1 killed Brown and now is protecting the reincarnation of Brown?" "Well, I don't know if it is referred to as a reincarnation," he began to say as Perthweiler broke in. "Whatever the fuck it's called. This kid claims to have been Brown, who was killed by Powers. And now Powers is the godfather of the kid? Is that what we are talking about here?" he said, as he looked at the second man with Raymore as if asking for some clarification. "That is correct." "How did you find out about this?" "I spoke to the police captain in charge of the investigation in Boulder. He spoke to Powers moments after the mother of the kid shot 2 of the intruders. Powers was out of the country, but is flying back to assist the kid and his mother. It seems Powers and the kid's father, who's deceased now, served together as members of Delta Force." "Does Powers know about the revelations the kid has spoken about?" "We would have to assume he does, sir. I am sure the mother explained to Powers what happened. To anyone else, the story sounds like a tale of fiction, a mystery movie. But to Powers, it's reality, right?" "It's reality to me, and I'm having a hard time understanding it. Have you located the other 2 operatives that carried out the other 2 assassinations?" "I have. Raven 2 and 3 are no longer working for the government. However, they are available for hire on a contract basis." "Of course they are," Perthweiler responded, removing his hat and drying off perspiration from his bald head. "Well, the list of targets has just got bigger." "Sir, going after the kid and his mother was one thing, but going after an experienced operative like Powers could prove to be quite the challenge. I mean, this guy is one of the best." "I see. So why don't you go back to your office, and I will go to my home, and we will play Let's Pretend This Never Happened. Are you fucking kidding me? You've got Iranian nationals trying to take out the mother and the kid. Do you think they are going to stop just because a little lady whacked 2 of them? What the hell were they thinking anyway? We should have been informed the second any knowledge of Operation Raven came out. Those assholes should have called you or me. Instead, they bring in their own operatives only to screw up the execution so badly. Fucking ragheads." "Perhaps I should coordinate with them so we don't get in each other's way." "Director Raymore, you are in charge of the DIA," he said, looking up at Raymore. "This is a matter of national security. This nightmare has to be terminated immediately in any way necessary. Is that understood?" he said, out of breath. "I will take care of it, sir. There is too much at stake here. Perthweiler engaged his scooter and started moving in the direction of the Washington Monument. Addressing the second man with Raymore, he said, "Would you excuse us a moment? I need some privacy with the director." The man brought his heels together and, bowing his head, replied, "Of course, sir." Perthweiler sped up a bit as Raymore fell in step. "Ed, why do you bring this fucking guy with you to all our meetings?" "He is my second in command, sir. I can't do this by myself. No different than when I was your Undersecretary of Defense. And frankly, I trust him." "Well, I don't. I don't like his face. That fucking scar he has from the top of his forehead all the way to his chin creeps me out. And his bald head with that long hair on the sides. Shit, he looks like the killer clown." "That's a war wound, sir."
"Whatever the fuck it is, I don't want him at our meetings anymore. Got it?"
"Fine, sir. I'll report back as soon as I have an update." Perthweiler stopped his scooter and looked up at Raymore.
"Ed, what we have here is a clear and present danger to me, to you, and even the administration. End it quickly."
With that, he sped up and waved to his bodyguard to join him.